This is populations and resources less than 2.2. This is right after activity 4, so you should have just watched the yeast experiment video, the conclusion to it. And then this is a tab that you don't have, but it's about yeast production. So since we cannot see the yeast with our naked eye, we cannot get direct evidence that they are reproducing. However, we can look at microscopic images of yeast. This image shows you how yeast reproduce. These are yeast cells, and yeast cells produce buds. Right here. The bud gets bigger and bigger until it breaks away and becomes an individual cell. So once this gets large enough, it breaks away and becomes an individual cell. And so that's how they reproduced. Scientists have observed that when yeast get more energy storage molecules, they can make more buds. This means that they can reproduce more. So this leads us to our next key concept, and that is that the more energy storage molecules available to a population, the more organisms in that population can reproduce. And this makes sense. We have evidence for this in our experiment. You could see that the more sugar that was added to the same amount of yeast, each cup had 1 tablespoon of yeast, but had different amounts of sugar. Sugar is an energy storage molecule. And the more sugar in that cup, the more energy was available. We could see that there's more gases being released, there's more energy, and that means that the more energy storage molecules available to the yeast, the more organisms in that population can reproduce, so there'd be more reproduction.